whenever it comes up, whenever the Kings come up, is man. Like that's the sound everybody makes. Oh man, what do you think? Do you think? I mean, tell me they're not going to be as bad as I think they are. Like that's the conversation I've had all off season with people regarding the Kings, and I just think that no matter what Dennis did in EuroBasket or what reports you see out of what he was able to do, that's not going to be enough to get people to feel differently about this year's Kings team without seeing them. Like maybe they see them and see the vision and see them play better and obviously change how they feel about it. But right now it's bad vibes in Kingsland right now.
So I guess nothing's really going to change that.
Before they play?
Yeah. Nothing.
I don't think so either. Do you think Kuminga would change that? If they landed him?
Honestly, I don't know. Maybe because it feels like it's a Warriors Kings game that you win. You know what I mean? Like it's I don't know. Because I don't know what people even like. If you had mentioned Jonathan, like there was a group who thought, because we were asked a lot about this before free agency starts. Hey, what about the Kings and Jonathan Kuminga? What about the Kings and Jonathan Kuminga? And my thing was always, there's just no way. There's no way to make it work. I didn't realize that there was, but like, all right, maybe there's something there. Like, okay. And now I can't tell if fans are excited about the idea of adding Jonathan Kuminga or they're just excited about the idea of adding somebody. And, time has come and gone. Dennis Schroeder was the free agency signing. There's Sarge, like whatever other handful of players have wound up in Kings uniforms. It's nothing anyone really cares about. But are we at the point where you want something and Kuminga's right there? And again, you've worked yourself into a shoot where it's like, oh man, Kuminga could be this. Kuminga could be that. Kuminga could work here. And, they wrote about it in that article. Shams and Slater wrote about, the Kings and I think Phoenix as well, saying, no, you're a basketball fit here. You're not a basketball fit in Golden State. You're a basketball fit here. We got 30 minutes a night for you. We've got a starting position for you. And maybe fans have taken that as like, oh, yeah, no, absolutely. I could see how this works. He's a young such and such. And you just work this whole thing out in your head to where, like Sasha, you're excited about the unknown. You're excited about something that's completely different than what he did in Golden State or what he did with the Warriors.
I think it will get people excited, especially when you talk about his skill set, his age. It presents problems, because, where are you going to be able to play Keegan? Does he take shots away from Keegan? People will be worried about that. People will be worried about Nick Clifford's playing time and what happens with that. And there'll be things that people are concerned about with Kuminga potentially coming to the Kings. But I do think just the thought of a young, exciting player will get people excited about the team. And it also helps a young offensive player, right? To just get people, they do a windmill dunk. Kuminga gets traded to the Kings, and you go to YouTube to watch his highlights from his career, and you'll start buying into whatever is being sold about, hey, this is a good move, whether it's accurate or not. I think it would be a good move. I think it's a good fit for Kuminga and for the Kings. But yeah, just to your original Dennis Schroeder, I think it's not enough. I think people are just down on the franchise right now.
And I guess to a certain degree, I understand that. I don't know what there is to be really excited about. I mean, I do think the Kings will be good this season. Like, they'll be fine. I think they'll win 40-something games, probably on the lower end of 45, but I do think they'll win 42, 3, 4 games somewhere around there. And I know that's a play-in spot. I know that's not super successful. I know it boils down. I know given to where they were 2 years ago, We thought we'd be in a different place, or 3 years ago, whenever Beam Team was. I know we thought we'd be in a different place at this point, but the fact is they're not. And they're in a situation now where you have guys like DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, DeMontis Sabonis. You still got Keegan here. You got like a group of guys where it's like, hey, that's a decent basketball team. What can that group amount to? I do not see that as a 35 win team. I don't see it as a 30 anything win team. Like, that's a team that should be able to win 40 something games and compete in the play-in. But given where we thought we were going, I understand why that doesn't excite anybody. And given that you wonder if teams like the Lakers, obviously the Thunder are doing it, you wonder what Dallas is going to look like. You wonder if these teams, obviously San Antonio, they're building. Mm-hmm. And if you're any of those teams that I just mentioned, you have something to look forward to this year, next year, the year after, and probably the year after that. Like, you have something to look forward to for the next 3 to 5 years if you're a fan of any of those teams I just mentioned. That's probably not the case for Sacramento. And I've always kind of understood that. I don't think this team, as it is currently constructed, has a future. But I think they have a present. And again, I know that's not super exciting because the present, I don't think, is a championship contender. But I don't want to sit around and be miserable until April because they only won 43 games or 44 games. I certainly don't want them to lose in the play-in. I'll take a first-round playoff loss. It's not what I'm hoping for. But, like, yeah, get out there and compete a little bit. Or the alternative is do some things that will turn. And maybe this is where the Jonathan Kuminga thing that you just referenced really comes into play. Because my outlook on their future will change a little bit if you add Jonathan Kuminga. Like, it'll change immediately. If a deal got done right this second and we announced it, it's like, all right, this changes how I feel a little bit. Mm-hmm. It could change how I feel by a lot by watching them on the floor together. Right. And knowing he's around, Keegan's around. I absolutely believe Keon Ellis is going to be around. Knowing that there are guys like, all right, and you got Domas still. There's a little something here. What could you turn this into, knowing you have your, going 2020 here, your core group? And yeah, I would take that.
Yeah, I would too. I'm in the same boat. And I understand people who wouldn't. I understand people who are like, no, I don't want nothing to do with that. That's leading towards nothing. You're in purgatory and mediocrity and all this other stuff. I get it. In some respects, it feels like it's just how you choose to live your life. Mm-hmm. Right?
That's like, yeah, for sure.
You want to be miserable and think everything is miserable and all bad. You can do that and be correct. If you want to be excited that 43 times throughout the year you got to see a Kings win and they have an opportunity to go to the playoffs, or they get to the playoffs even though they're playing the defending champions in the first round, be happy about that. I tend to do the latter. I tend to try to embrace the wins, the positivity, and stay focused on that. But once again, I'm not here to talk down or say somebody is ridiculous for if they look at it like, man, this isn't getting us anywhere. We're in a fast track to nowhere. I understand that as well.
It's just a different line of thinking. Like Ellis says on youtube.com/ESPN1320, the present isn't even a playoff round win. Like, maybe it's not. Like, and I get why you might not feel that. But if this is a playoff team, you're going to be sulky and salty all the way till the playoffs. Ellis follows up with, it's easy for media. It's your job and you go to games for free. That's never lost on me. Mm-hmm. Right? I never have to pay to watch to go watch a bad basketball team. What I tell you is a little bit different for us, Ellis, is you could walk away at any point you want to. We can't. Mm-hmm. I mean, we could. Our bank accounts would suffer greatly and we'd have to find something else to do for a living. Mm-hmm. But through hellfire and brimstone, we have to stick around and watch this team play basketball and find ways to talk about it and find ways to make them interesting for a fan base that is just diehard about their basketball team. Right. They love to love their basketball team. They love to be angry with their basketball team. They love to be frustrated with their basketball team. I told you I went to a wedding on Saturday. One of the first people I met was a man named Dennis. He walked over to me, and Dennis looks at me and he goes, YouTube. I said, yep. He was like, I can't remember your name, but I know your partner's Kenny Caraway. And I said, that's right. That's right.
Why do you come up with these stories?
I said, you're right, sir. My name's Damien. And he goes, that's right.
Don't listen to him, everybody. This did not happen.
Dennis has been a Kings fan since he's been a Kings season ticket holder since 1985. Mm. And he has watched every incarnation of this basketball team. And like, he to me is the epitome of a Kings fan. Like, maybe not everybody has been season ticket holder since 1985, but you know, he hit me with the, oh man, and just shook his head. I was like, we got some great guys here. It's just, I don't know if we have a team. And he told me everything he thought about this version of the Sacramento Kings. And despite his outlook, despite his frustration, like, he was passionate about this basketball team. Right. Shout out Dennis if you're listening. And I think that's the way most Kings fans are.
Yeah, man. And like I said, if Ellis feels any type of way, if Dennis feels any type of way, you're not wrong, man. You're not wrong. Like I said, I know I'm more on the fan side of things than maybe you are, even though you definitely want the Kings to win. But it doesn't feel any better for me if they're losing, because my job is to talk about them. Mm-hmm. I'm pissed off. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, we talk about the 49ers all the time. What I tell you all the time, this is my job. I get to talk about them. When they win, it's fun. When they lose,
I want to talk about it.
Yeah, but I can't.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's just, you know, I tend to look at it with the lenses of everybody needs to do what they need to do to enjoy these things or get through these things. Mm-hmm. And it's cool if you look at this Kings team and say, man, I'm just not seeing it right now. I completely understand that. I think they're going to be a pretty solid basketball team. We've talked about it a number of different times. 41 to 44 wins, something like that. Then have an opportunity to get into the playoffs, which I will say this, here in Sacramento, we should not sneeze at, because there's a generation of people who have not seen playoff basketball. So I'll take a playoff series, even if that meant playing against OKC. I'll take it. I will ask you this real quick, or do you want to table that?
Go ahead.
I said earlier, TC's in agreement. I said, just make the pick unprotected. Mm-hmm. Like, I know you want to get him at a bargain in your price and all this other stuff, but if the bargain in your price is that important, he's probably not really your guy. Like, you just look at him as just a good player. Like, all that all-star stuff you're talking about, that's just window dressing. You don't look at him that way. If you believe he's an all-star, you want to center things around him like you've told him. Protect the pick that's 4 or 5 years from now and see if he can help you be good, not only immediately, but in the future. So maybe that pick doesn't hit that hard 4 years from now.
Yeah.
I would make the pick unprotected.
My answer was a little, because I think the thing we're going to ask, what do I think about this? Mm-hmm. And my response to that was a little, it can't get any worse. Mm-hmm. That's my honest to God. Like, and I'm not let's take the haha out of this for a second, and I'll pose it as a question. Seriously, how much worse can it get? Like, what do you think that singular pick is going to do for you? Now, there's an important component to this, though, because I think this is how you started what you said. If you think Jonathan Kuminga is the guy, do it. If you're not sure, then don't. Mm-hmm. Don't do it just for the sake of doing it. Don't go, well, we've got to try something, so let's do this. Mm-hmm. No. If you believe he's the guy, go do it. I remember when the Giants, the New York Giants, drafted Daniel Jones. I think he was drafted maybe sixth.
Really high.
So, but he was projected to be maybe more in the teens somewhere. And my thing at the time was like, if you like, I get it. There's a game you have to play, and it involves you knowing what 7, 8, 9, 10 are doing. It involves your ability to know what the rest of the league thinks about him, who might be willing to move up, who might be trade partners with it. Like, you have to do all of that in terms of if you wanted to navigate backwards, accumulate more assets, and draft him there. But my thing was always the same. If you think he's your guy, then do it. Like, okay, maybe you took him 6 picks too early. But if you think that's your guy at that coveted position, the quarterback of your future, do it. Just do it. Deal with all of the ridicule and prove them wrong down the road. It's the exact same way I feel about this. If you think he is something for you, if you think he is a guy, if you think he is a part of your rotation, do it. But if it's just the idea of we have to do something, that's you're setting yourself up for failure in that regard.
Yeah,
absolutely setting yourself up for failure.
And I know, I understand how people might think it's a little reckless to think like this. And you can't always do this, but I look at your point like, all right, how much worse can it get? What do you really have to lose? Like, you're already looked at as a team that a lot of people don't think is going to be very good. You've got, if they're correct, you've got 3 years to figure it out before you get to that 2030. And you've got all your picks, like Bobby Marks talked about, before that. In this deal, you're not giving up any of these picks right now. It feels like it'd be a little bit more risky if they're like, hey, give us an unprotected 2026 or 2027. Because it feels like that can hamper you sooner, obviously, but more for the long haul. Because if you're not good right now and you're going towards a rebuild, you're going to need these picks right now to start that rebuild. We're talking about 2030. Like,
TCG says you can't live with the what ifs. You gotta live in the now.
Yeah, in a lot of cases, 100%.
Like, if that's and all I ask is, if that's the guy you like, if that really is a guy that you see as a part of your future, okay, do what you got to do.
Yeah, I would unprotect the pick. The pick.
Unprotect that thing.
Not that thing. I would unprotect them. I would unprotect the pick if that's what was going to get the deal done for me. The Scott Perry is very methodical. That's one thing that we've seen right now. He's not going to do, at least it feels like, he's not going to do anything he doesn't feel that he has to do in a negotiating sense.
Yeah.
And if he really believes, I don't have to make the pick unprotected to get this deal done, then he's not going to do it.
Yeah.
So.
They say this is a big rich town. I just come from the poet's part.
There we go. Don't want to build this up with too much drama, man. Not a lot of changes in my power rankings. So I'll hit you with this one right here. Last week I had the Eagles at number 1. Had the Bills at number 2. Packers, Chargers, Ravens. This week, KC, again, not a lot of changes, but I did take the Chargers out. No hate. I
mean, what the hell?
No hate.
They won the game.
No hate. Or as you would say, no disrespect. I put the Bucks at number 5 because I think the Bucks are better. Chargers are number 6. They first team out. I put the Bucks at number 5.
How do you go down? That's the thing. If they weren't in the power rankings, it'd be one thing, but they went down.
They're my power rankings. I can do what I want to with them. I also moved the Ravens up. Truth be told, I wanted to move the Ravens. I started the Ravens too low. That was me. But I got the Ravens at 4 now. So it's the Bucks at 5, Ravens at 4. Not a lot has changed from there. It's the Packers at 3. Bills at 2, Eagles, defending champs, stay at 1. They still look great. They get to stay number
Let me see this again before I say something. I think I'm correct for sure, but Lamar Jackson, another MVP season loading.
Yeah, man.
It's already at 434, 6 touchdowns, no interceptions through 2 weeks.
It's crazy. Like, and at some point, people are going to respect him.
You would think.
At some point.
Jeez.
But I don't know. Maybe. I guess he's not a good passer. I don't know. Whatever you guys decide. Whatever you guys decide you don't like about Lamar Jackson this week, go ahead and run with it.
My power rankings
Mhm.
last week, I had the Eagles at 1, the Bills at 2, the Ravens at 3, the Vikings at 4, the Chargers at 5. Clearly, there's a little bit of movement there. It's not at the top, though. Eagles 1, Bills still 2, Ravens still 3. At 4, show respect. Put the Packers at 4.
Okay.
The Packers have been
Killed you a little bit, huh?
I mean,
It's about damn time. Shout out LeBron.
I don't like them. I don't like them. I'm never gonna like them. But I ain't no hater, like I always tell you guys. They look extremely impressive in the first 2 weeks of the season. Extremely impressive. Got them at 4. And I do still have the Chargers in my top 5.
That's cute.
I do.
No,
They did what they were supposed to do. How they gonna fall back?
No, okay. So they're 5. Let me ask you something. Who's 6 then?
I didn't even go that far. Sure, the Bucks can be there. I don't care. Who's
So
6?
what's it matter?
Who-
I got the Bucks.
The Bucks
at
don't get
5.
mentioned. That's why it matters. They don't get mentioned because they're
That's
not
right,
in the top
and that's
5.
going to change. The Bucks are going to start getting more attention.
Who
I
they
do
play
think
this
you are a
weekend?
little too low on the Chargers.
Probably.
Who the Bucks play this weekend? Do we know?
Zabo, throw it in the chat.
No, we'll find it. Yeah, Zabo, you throw it in the chat instead of us looking. No,
Well,
don't
well,
look.
No, I
Don't
think I
look.
got
No,
the
don't
schedule.
look. Let Zabo put it in.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're putting Zabo back to work? Zabo started your whole damn league, and now you're putting him back to work? So the man built an entire league. Y'all stripped it from him, and then now, no, Zabo, go do
I'm
this.
trying to look it up, but our internet,
It's
our
the
internet is
Jets.
stalling.
It's the Jets. They play the Jets.
They're gonna be 3-0. John Poles just randomly says the Broncos.
I would have believed him.
I would have too.
That would have been great too, because we would have been like, "Oh, it's the Broncos." What a game that's going to be!
How do we not know?
What a game that's going to be.
Dak nabbit.
I hate when you watch the game on the iPad while it's on the TV.
No,
It
the
drives
best
me
part
cra-
is Casey gets.
It drives me crazy.
No, hey, hold on. Casey says something. Joe Brazil was just in the studio watching the game, and he's just cussing under his breath right now because they didn't score on that one. Joe was pissed.
They've got 1 hit on the game. We're in the 10th.
Joe walks out, mumbling under his breath. This team stinks.
Joe
Joe left. Yeah, Joe walked out. Shout out, Joe.
Oh man, that's what I say. I missed it during the break. I did play by play when the Giants almost blew the game. Those almost certainly lose now in this 10th inning with the ghost runner.
Damien's in the
Season
studio
will be
now.
over.
Damien wasn't in the studio last time, so it'll be tough
Well,
to get through it this time.
That's a good point. Hey, what's going on here? AEW. Oh, wait, you got a different commercial. AEW's on my screen. I thought they were coming to Sacramento.
Oh man.
But I showed the Chargers respect. They're still 5. And they could be moving up the charts.
I'm not low on the Chargers if I have them 6.
Oh, that's disrespectful.
No, you're not.
There's
You
a
have them
level
six.
of
Well, hold on. Do you have them
disrespect.
6 because they're supposed to be there because you want them there?
I want them at 30th.
Exactly.
I don't even know why. They ain't even do nothing to me, but it's just a bit now that I got to lean into.
They're your Atlanta Hawks, I think.
Well, I don't even know what that means.
The Hawks, you would never really. Maybe it's Trey Young, but like usually, the Hawks. This.
Well,
I just don't think the
is that
Hawks
team.
are interesting. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
It's Minnesota. Minnesota
better
was the
comp.
team that they could get to. They could win the championship, and I'd be like, I don't know.
They almost did.
And I'm still like, they're not
They
even that
almost
good.
did twice.
They're not even that
The
good.
second time was on accident.
I got them a playing team this
Aaron
time.
Turner was conducting an hour-long interview this morning.
Oh, we've talked a little
he's
bit.
making the
Podcast.
rounds. Like,
Yeah, he's
on
doing.
the
We've talked.
collective.
We've talked
After being on
about
the podcast.
Aaron Turner and what it means that he's doing a media tour to let everybody know what he's been telling reporters for months.
No, but I don't hate it. Like I don't
What,
hate
really?
no,
Yeah,
I
I don't think it's
I
the
don't
last
hate
thing
the
in the
fact that he's like, okay, look, there's no guessing. It's me. I'm talking. I'm the one talking. There's no guessing to this. I don't have an issue with that.
Okay. Do you, okay.
I
right.
didn't hear the Hoop Collective.
I did not
interview.
either. I have not. It just I've never.
The Hoop Collective it's nothing. It's what he's been telling these guys. There was
Okay, so
nothing.
there's
there was
nothing
nothing
new.
new in it.
No.
Okay.
It's what he's been telling these guys for months.
Yeah.
Like, and I think most of these reports, his name is on.
Right.
Like the reports that came out earlier this week, with Slater, and then the one with
Dalton Johnson.
Yeah, his name was on all of that.
Mhm.
All of this was just him kind of saying the same thing.
And the things that he said, they're fine. Like I don't think there was. They're fine. Like,
Maybe-
he's just talking about like, yeah, we want this opportunity, but if not, like we're also
And-
we understand that. Like we're cool.
Maybe my problem is the aggregating around it, because the first headlines I saw today were Jonathan Kuminga to take qualifying offer. It's like, oh shoot, like that happened. And you look at it, no, the agent said they're prepared to do it if the Warriors don't change their offer. Like, oh, well, yeah, no, we got that. Thank you. Good.
I got that
We're
memo
on
a
it.
month and a half ago.
Yeah, thanks, Aaron. We're good now. Now I know. I don't know. I just it.
But
If
I'll say this.
It feels like if you had real like control of the situation, and you were actually prepared to take the qualifying offer, you would just go, all right, cool. We're going to sit back here. JK is going to do his workout. We're going to hang out. You guys call us if you want to change your offer. If not, we'll talk to you September 29 or 30 when we sign the qualifying offer. Goodbye. And instead he's like, all right, we'll do it. Hey, you guys listening? You guys listening?
Oh, Tom's back. Is Tom Brady talking?
You guys like, we'll do it. We'll sign the qualifying offer. We're ready. It's like, all right, yeah, no, we got that. Thank you. I don't know. I don't know what this is accomplishing.
The one thing go ahead, then. Go ahead.
It's no different than the reports that came out this week. The reports that came out this week aren't reports. It's just rehashing old information. Now there's these Warriors contracts like involved in it, and he's clear. Just give us a player option. There's nothing newsworthy in any of this. There hasn't been a newsworthy item in this whole story in months.
Right.
So I have no issue with Aaron Turner going, F this. Like, we're pretending like this isn't Joe Lacob talking. We're pretending like this isn't the Warriors front office. Hear who's talking on behalf of Jonathan Kuminga, and it's me. I don't have a single issue with that. It's just he's not saying anything because there's nothing to say. That's not his fault.
I guess.
I think one of my issues is that now we're looking at a 3-year deal. So he's getting 2 years guaranteed. I'm confused why it's got to be a team option for that third year.
Player option.
I mean, well, but they're offering a team option. Yeah, why it's got to be a player option for year 3. It's like, look, you were angry because they were only offering a 2-year deal, and the second year was what's the team option. Again, it comes down to the bird rights situation, right?
Sure.
So if he signs a 1+1, there's a no trade clause attached to that, because if he gets traded, his bird rights go away, and that's a big deal.
Right. Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Yeah, and it's
A
the
lot of
same thing
money.
with the qualifying offer. It's the bird rights thing is a big deal, but if you're giving him a 2-year deal, that takes away the bird rights issue. So now it's a third year, whether it's team or it's player, it almost doesn't matter, because you're now working on a 2-year deal where if he does get traded, he will have his bird rights when he gets traded. So
It feels like it's the principle of the thing at this point.
It's the principle of the situation. I felt that way earlier this week when we talked about it. And then, so obviously, way after we're done here on ESPN 1320, if anybody wants to go check out the interview he did with our guys Steiny and Goo, it feels like the Kings laid on, they were spitting game. BJ Armstrong is mentioned in that conversation.
BJ's a big Kuminga fan.
Yeah, he was mentioned by Aaron Turner in that conversation, talking about, hey, I don't know if it was a slip or it was just him saying whatever. He's like, yeah, either do one or two things, like give us that contract or Let us go to the places we want to go, like the Sacramentos, like the Phoenix, like the places we want to go. You know what I mean? I think what he said, BJ Armstrong said, and when you talk about that contract, the 3 years, 2 years, all this other stuff, he said, BJ Armstrong specifically said, you come here to Sacramento, we want you to be you. We're not asking you to be anything different. We're not asking you to fit into a role. We're asking you to be the best version of you. We believe in you. We want you to do that. And he says, re-signing with the Warriors, and one of the downsides to that is, number one, you got to conform to a role. Number two, he didn't mince words where he's like, look, the likelihood they'll probably trade me. And now I'm getting traded to a place where, do they want me to be me, like BJ talked about, or do I have to have a certain role there? Do I have to conform to certain things there? There's so much uncertainty with that. Like, why can't we just go where we want to go? He said that a couple of different times.
I just think if you were going to take the qualifying offer, if you were actually going to do that, then they would have done what James has said they should do and go, all right, cool. Give it to us. Are you prepared for us to not sign this by changing your offer? No? Cool. Here you go. We're done. See you in September.
No, because you don't have to yet. And if there's still any possibility, what I got from one of the things that I got from that is they want to go to Sacramento or Phoenix, because Sacramento will give him what he's looking for, the money and the opportunity.
Well, because those are their options to leave Golden State.
Right. Well, and then he said some other teams that I won't name. That's what he said. He said Sacramento, Phoenix, and there's some other teams that we've talked to that would do the same thing.
The Bulls were in there for a little while, and I think there's maybe one other team that's floating around. But like, look, there isn't a ton of options, and like the Kings can pitch him that idea all they want, that you get to be you, but like we asked this question: who's going to tell DeMar? Like that's just not it's just not real.
Well,
like,
I mean,
he will start, but then someone's going to have to go to the bench, and then like again, you've got Domas, you've got all these other mouths to feed. You've got Malik Monk, you've got Zach LaVine, you've got Dennis Schroeder.
But much like the playing game, which is the most glaring example of this. Like I think a lot of people look at DeMar DeRozan as if he's selfish and he just ain't gonna pass the ball. The playing game was like nobody else is doing anything. This guy's turning the ball over left and right. He won't shoot. So yes, I'll put it up 25 times. If you got a guy in here who's like, hey, I'll be just as aggressive. I'll shoot the ball. I'll, be a guy that you can depend on an offensive end. Who's to say DeMar DeRozan wouldn't take less shot attempts, wouldn't look for a shot more often?
Sure.
I think a lot of the times last year, who the hell else is going to do it? This guy only takes 12 shots a game. We need him to take 17. Keegan Murray won't be aggressive.
Sure.
Who the hell else was going to do it? I'll take 23 shots.
Sure.
I think that plays a role.
I don't want to do a ton on this Kuminga thing because I don't think he's going to be traded to the Kings. At least not this summer
either.
I don't think he's going to be traded at all.
But right.
I think he'll be back with the Warriors.
Yeah.
I want to know how this works though. Domas at the 5. Yeah. We're putting Kuminga at the 4. We're moving Keegan to the 3. We're moving DeRozan to the 2.
No, Zach LaVine's the 2.
Yeah.
DeRozan to the point.
No, DeRozan might come off the bench. He might come off the bench.
Okay.
He might come off the bench.
Well, I mean, if you're able to acquire him and you're not able to go make another move, I still think I'll say this again and again. If you do the deal where it's it's $11 million for the contracts going out and the Kings have to find a way to come up with another like $10 million to drop below the luxury tax, the easiest way to do that is going to be DeMar DeRozan. And I do think that there are ways you can go out and trade DeMar DeRozan and his contract for like a $15 million player with one of the teams that might have some cap space or some luxury tax room, and you can clear up some space, and then we won't have this question. But the question is still real until DeMar's no longer on the team.
The throwing the hands up that
I am
not you. I'm saying like that a lot of people they were just like
I
you.
literally just threw my hands up.
No. There's hundreds of people just like you when they heard that. I get it. I think I'm not trying to play the
So
fence.
we'll bench DeMar DeRozan for Jonathan Kuminga because it makes sense. But we won't bench him to start Keon Ellis,
I think that's real.
even though it makes.
I think that's real. I think Jonathan Kuminga. There are people in that front office. There are people in that coaching room. There are people in the locker room, players who believe Jonathan, regardless of what anybody else thinks, Jonathan Kuminga is better than Keon Ellis. I will go to the bench for a player that's better. I'm not going to the bench for a guy that is third guard
defense
role player.
first, right? Yeah.
And I'm not here to say that's right or wrong,
Totally.
or they're correct or not. I'm just saying that may be the mindset of some people.
Sure. Okay. That's fair. Damien? Anything? You're good. You're good. I was being funny.
It's just
we're gonna run in
right.
We're gonna run in these circles over and over again.
It's nothing that we haven't said 1,000 times. Right. It's just the clock's ticking now.
Right.
Like that's, I'm sure, why the articles are out. That's why the Warriors are talking. That's why Aaron Turner's talking. The clock is ticking, and it's just, is someone gonna blink? And in the end, I mean, I'm genuinely curious if the Warriors cave and offer him some sort of player option or a bigger first year contract or something along those lines, or perhaps the one that they balked at that we learned. And I guess this was something that they didn't. Aaron Turner proposed an inflated 1-year contract that's not a qualifying offer, which means there's no trade clause involved in it, and he can be traded in February. I'm wondering if that winds up being the compromise, or if the pissing contest never ends and we're just, okay, I'm playing on the qualifying offer and everybody loses.
There is still a no trade clause if he signs a 1-year deal. There's a no, but he can waive it.
Yeah. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, and that was a proposal from his side. Inflate the contract and we'll waive the.
Yeah. No, and that makes sense. That's
which
really
again, I don't,
which
I don't think you should be able to do, but because I always thought if you sign the qualifying offer, like the qualifying offer of 7.8 whatever the number is, that's where the no trade clause comes into play. If you sign a 1-year contract for $20 million, I assume that erased the no trade clause because it's not necessarily a qualifying offer. If that's not the case, then that's fine. Waive the no trade clause in this situation, which again, I don't think that should be something you're allowed to do, but if it is, do it.
Yeah, it really does. You have to sign a fully guaranteed 2-year deal for his bird rights to be intact. And if his bird rights aren't going to be intact, that's where the no trade clause comes in. So it's a way to protect the player. It's like an insurance policy for them.
Sure.
So if he signs a 1+1, and he gets traded, they first of all, they have to come to him and ask him if he wants to be traded. Secondly, his bird rights dissolve as soon as he gets traded.
I understand.
Yeah.
You're listening to The Handoff on ESPN 1320, and you are also listening to KIFM West Sacramento, KRXQ HD2 Sacramento, ESPN 1320, Sacramento's sports leader, always free on the Odyssey app. I would like to talk about the story in the New York Times today. And I said this at the top of the show. People's personal lives is not my business, and how they conduct themselves in their personal lives is up to them. I'm chilling. For me, I looked at this from kind of a zoomed out point of view, and it's like, this is why when we talk about the Kings' future and we talk about what does this look like in 2 years or 3 years or 4 years, it's like, man, I have a really hard time going, oh, everything's going to be normal and they're going to follow this track because things like this happen. Like, I feel like this is only a thing that happens to Sacramento or to the Kings, Stockton, Sacramento, or otherwise. Like, it's just, I don't know. That was my takeaway from it. Because like I said, I don't feel like it's my place to get on the radio and be like, this person should conduct themselves in this way. Like, okay.
Well, it's okay to do that. Like, this is whether, so I don't know. This. So we've known of this story or some sort of New York Times story for a long time, like a really long time. I'm going to be honest. I thought it was something else. Now, to be fair, I don't think it, like, we all knew this. Like, we knew what was in the article.
Sure.
I don't know what we're like. I thought something was going to like tear the organization apart. I was like, oh, it's that. Well, I guess that is news. I guess everybody didn't know that. And yeah, it's not great. Like, I remember I remember when we found out, we were like shocked. We were
Mhm.
like, wait, did such and such, da, 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 da. Yep. All right. Like, okay.
Yeah.
And then just kind of went about life. It doesn't affect Jonathan Kuminga. It doesn't affect the trade. It just makes the organization continue to look stupid.
That's it.
And they don't really need a lot of help to look stupid, but they keep finding ways to influence the stupidity of this organization. And yeah, like I don't know what to say about it. Like, it's a tough look.
It's
It's a tough
like,
look for the ownership group.
I would say, like, because it started to become like a debate in the chat. Like, I don't care if it's man or woman. Like, that to me, none of that matters. If you're in a position of power with
That's
an
right.
organization,
Yep.
you cannot have a
It's
relationship.
a workplace.
You cannot have a relationship with someone who is below you in standing in the organization.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when you're a general manager, you can't date your players. And I don't care if that's, again, this isn't a man or woman thing. This isn't like,
Well,
you have bad taste in men, which is what I saw. Like, oh, like, no, that's a huge issue.
yeah.
And it wasn't once, it was more than once
Yeah.
with like multiple players.
Mhm.
And so I mean, it was a huge issue.
Which is also very public now because everybody knows that that's not the last guy we heard about her dating, who was also a player.
yes. Yeah.
That's the crux. Once everyone got past all of the jokes and the ha-has and the memes, the
Mhm.
Coldplay thing. That guy was the CEO and that woman worked for her.
Mhm.
It wasn't about an affair. It wasn't about like the company's reaction. It wasn't
Mhm.
about the meme and embarrassing. That guy was the boss
Mhm.
and that woman worked for her.
Mhm.
Once you dug past all of the funny stuff, that was the crux of the issue.
Right.
You can't do that in a
Yeah.
position of power in publicly traded companies and companies like you cannot do that.
Mhm.
And that's this situation. It's just the slightly different aspect of a woman being in power and the player being in kind of a subordinate position.
Yeah.
I think it's a terrible look. She should have never been the general manager of the Stockton Kings. If you want to put her
Correct.
in the basketball, the operations department, and give her whatever title or assistant or something like that, cool. Like, I get it. Like James said with his sons, if I own the Kings, like Reese will be, if he wanted to, he'd be somewhere in there.
No
I
doubt.
wouldn't put him as the general manager, but he'd be somewhere in there. Like, I get it. It's all good. But that's the issue.
Yeah.
The thing that I would say, though, that I pushed back a little bit on when I was listening earlier, and even pushed back a little bit to what you're saying, is James talked about how earlier, like, people always say, well, if we win, none of it'll matter. And you'll be like, all right, well, let's start winning. When did this happen?
2023.
What happened in 2023 with the Kings? We heard about this the day we heard about Anjali being general manager, the day that it happened, because it was draft day or lottery day.
Lottery day.
It was lottery day. We heard about it. There was jokes. And damn near hours later, nobody cared because now all of a sudden the Kings had the 4 pick. And then we get in there, Kings win, light the beam. We didn't hear about Anjali being GM no more. No more. Yes, winning cures everything. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong or anything like that. And I'm not saying that they shouldn't be ran through the mud right now because they're losing. But let's be clear. A lot of the reason why they're being ran through the mud or this is embarrassing is because they're losing. Sarver was Sarver when the Suns went to the finals. Nobody cared.
Well, okay.
A lot of people cared. A lot of people didn't care. Media didn't care. Media would tell you right now, with Sarver doing everything they was doing, media would tell you right now, we just read it from Hollinger the other day. Oh, the short good time that they had was 2023. This was happening in 2023.
The normalcy of the Mike Brown era is what he said. Yeah.
This was happening at that time. But nobody cares because they were winning.
Right.
And that's all I'm saying is
these things could be happening in the future.
Mhm.
If they win, nobody gonna care. James Dolan is still James Dolan.
Well, okay, so that's what I was trying to get at. I fully agree with you.
Mhm.
Like when you win, we've seen this with teams, with owners, with players personally. When you win, it's sunshine and rainbows. My argument is when you have things like this happening constantly, it's really, really tough to get to the point where you're winning consistently.
But I don't really think it's that related. Like not as much, it may be, but not as much as what you think. Sterling was Sterling. He just got the right players in there to help them win. He didn't do anything, actually. The right players came along and they started winning. Sarver was Sarver. The right players came along and they started winning games. These guys didn't same thing with James Dolan. These guys didn't fundamentally change who they were or how they went about business. They were the same people. They just end up getting the right players in there at the right time so they can win. And I think that could happen here.
It can,
and
for sure.
Vivek will run the organization the same way. Vivek was running the organization the same way 2-3 years ago.
Yeah,
the same way. He didn't change.
Sure.
They just got the right players in at the right time. Kevin Huerter started hitting shots. Keegan Murray was hitting 41% of his threes. They started winning games. It was a low year in the Western Conference, and 48 got you the third seed. They started winning games. Vivek didn't fundamentally change anything that he was doing.
Yeah, that's a problem. Where are we now, though?
But when you talk about the future, DeRozan, Levine, all these guys be cooking. They could be cooking this year, and they win 47 games. Vivek, my point is the way they go about it. I don't want to say it doesn't matter, but what matters is the players on the court. If you have the players on the court being successful, nobody will care about this process.
Yeah, but you can't have situations like this.
No, absolutely not.
You can't. I mean, where somebody's a place of power and is dating the players that has signed contracts that she signed contracts with. That's not something that happens everywhere. And like, I don't know, like, because
does she need to be banned? I'm serious. Like, does the league need to step in and go, you can't be around? It's like the Uncle Dennis thing.
Yeah, maybe so.
You can't be around Sacramento Kings business. And if we find out that you are, there will be severe ramifications for the Sacramento Kings.
I think there'd be grounds for it. I mean, she was dating players.
So was Jeremy an active player? So we know Chance was. I don't know if Jeremy was. The problem might be if you go down that rabbit hole, you don't really know what you're going to find.
Correct.
So
yeah, I don't know.
The NBA might need to go down that rabbit hole and come to the conclusion, like, hey, this is our determination. This is embarrassing for you. I don't give a damn about you. This is embarrassing for our league and our television partners. You're on national television this year. You're on Peacock. You're on NBC. You're on Amazon. If she is anywhere near that courtside seat, there will be massive ramifications for this organization.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you the question. Do you honestly think the league doesn't know about this whole situation or didn't know about it before?
I do not.
The league knew.
I do not believe they didn't know.
And they've done nothing.
I would say, but I'll say this. Anjali Ranadive, the GM of the Stockton Kings, yes, you need to be banned. Anjali Ranadive, the daughter of the owner, I don't know if you can ban her.
Okay, but
she still had that position.
What's the next question? What happens if something horrible happens and tomorrow Vivek has a stroke and he's incapacitated and he can't run the team? And she's now the owner, but she's an owner that has the.
But you can say like she's not approved to be the owner because of this other stuff, right? That would be her having a position, an official position with this NBA team. No, we can't have that. But as long as she's still going to get her PhD or working with the Wolves and stuff like that, not the Timberwolves, the actual Wolves, like I don't feel like you can ban her.
I'm not saying ban her.
I agree.
No, I'm posing the question. Like, I don't even know that she has an official title.
No.
But if it's, she's a fan, great. We've banned fans before.
That's true.
We've done that. We're literally having this conversation about Uncle Dennis.
Let's say this had come out without the without Chance Comanche having been involved allegedly in a kidnapping and a murder.
Mhm.
Let's just say he's still in the league and nothing. He didn't
He's
do
just
that.
a regular person.
But this still comes out. Are we having the same conversation?
No, absolutely not.
Like he's a regular player.
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Yeah, like he didn't. He
He's
might
not,
be in the G
but the
League, he
murder
might
case
be-
is not a part of it.
correct. But it's still somehow, for some reason, TMZ got word and it came out that everything else happened. The Jeremy Lamb thing,
an
the
active player and an active
Yeah.
general manager. Yeah, I think you're still talking about it.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, you're talking about it.
I
Is
think
she
you're
still the GM
talking
if that
about-
didn't happen?
She very well might be. Because remember how abrupt that
Yes.
resignation
Yes,
was.
it was like right after.
And yeah, that
That's-
was an abrupt resignation to go get her master's.
That's the
That
qualification.
go look at the press release. It was to go get her master's
Her
degree.
PhD.
Her PhD, sorry.
You know, when we were sitting here, when that dropped at 11:45, we were sitting here on the show. I
Mhm.
get the email.
Yep.
And she walked through the door.
I didn't know you were going to say that. It's a true
That's
story.
right. That did
Yeah.
happen.
She was
That
standing
That
right
did
there.
happen. Yeah.
We had
I'm like, oh, we have a
Can you
breaking news.
confirm?
Like,
Is this?
didn't even bother to ask, like, hey, do you want to? No. No, she was literally standing right there as the email went out. Like, oh, this is very odd.
yeah.
That's right.
Made the commercial break even odder when we were supposed to go over there and set up our
Anything new?
KSFM business.
to
Hey, girl.
Or should I say doctor?
to amend what I said. I don't think it's a story if she's in the position she is now. If she's still the GM, yes, it is a story, and yes, it's a big
Okay.
problem. If she's the GM,
Okay.
it's a major problem.
But not if she's not.
No, because I don't know if directly
No,
title wise,
yeah.
she has the authority that
Got
she
it.
had.
It's it's
Okay.
different. It's a bad look.
Mhm.
Mhm.
To me, it's a lot different if she's not the general manager.
Sure.
There is a clear like structure and power dynamic involved in here
Mhm.
that workplaces should take very, very seriously.
Yeah.
And you can't
It's-
have that.
It's
Well,
a
but-
terrible look though. Like just in general, like this is just a bad look. It's like you said, Dame. It's embarrassing for not only the Kings but the league. Like this is a just that alone. Like I'll take out the horrible things that Chance Comanche
Mhm.
did. If he, like you said, was just a player, she was just the GM. That's a terrible look. That's
Well,
an awful look.
Jesse brought up a great point.
Yeah.
In the chat,
Mhm.
Ime Udoka.
Mhm.
That
He
was a
was-
power dynamic.
Yes.
That was
That-
a power
that
dynamic,
was-
and he took advantage of that power dynamic, which is like I think initially people were quiet about the fact that they were in a relationship, and then when the relationship broke up and he started bullying, then it was like, okay, bro, you got to go.
Yeah. Hmm.
And he's in
Yeah.
the league.
Well, that
Yeah,
and-
back
And
in the league.
it was
Just got
Boston's
fired by
decision
Boston, yeah.
to move on, but he's still very much in the league, thriving, and could win an NBA championship this year.
I'm gonna say this too, like
Winning cures everything.
I don't care what the title is, whether she has a title or she doesn't, or whether she's on the payroll or she's not. If she's sitting next to her dad, the owner, the power dynamic is still in place, no
Good point.
matter what.
It's a good point.
They're still like, if you think it's okay for her, if she's not part of the team, but she's still sitting next to her dad and she's dating a player, and the player has like that player is still like attached to the situation.
Yeah, right.
And I don't know how you get past that. So
I would-
I
Is
don't
it-
think the
are we-
league is going to ban her.
Are we
but
okay? But like, are when you say ban, do you mean lifetime ban or a you can't sit courtside? You can be up in
10-year
the
show
suite,
cause.
10-year show cause. Is it?
Now,
It-
I'm that's not even what I'm suggesting happening. I'm literally just asking a question. Does the article come out because there's allegedly been a fear of this article for it feels
Oh,
like a
There was
year?
way. Can I go ahead? Sorry.
Is there just no ramifications for it?
I think so. I think it's just like, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Up.
Unless there's more,
Man.
it's
That's-
a bad look. That's
So
nothing more than that.
So
But-
okay, so and that's fine. If that's how the league chooses to approach it, that's fine. Vivek looks awful.
Mhm.
Yes.
The second his daughter sits down next to him at the home opener, he looks awful.
Yep.
That was his general manager.
Yep. Yep.
So he is just continuing to pile on this large heap of trash that makes him look bad.
Mm-hmm.
And he just keeps shoveling on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
What I if I was him, for everybody involved, for just the business, and this is just me talking, is me,
Mhm.
and for my daughter,
Yeah.
I might say I don't want you around
That's it.
because I don't like I obviously I love you, my daughter. I don't want people looking at you a certain way.
That's it.
I don't want people saying nothing crazy to you.
Mhm.
I love going to these games with you. I think it's a great bond that we have. But to be honest, one part of it, be honest, I don't know what I'm gonna do if I hear somebody say something disrespectful
That's
to you.
it.
That way.
That's
So
it.
for everybody involved,
Some Laker fan sitting right behind you.
For everybody involved, I might just keep you away because of that alone. Because you're my daughter.
Yeah, just don't expose
You
her
know
to
what I'm
that.
saying?
Yeah, that makes sense. What?
He's not going to do anything. That's Kenny Caraway talking. Like, what's Vivek going to do?
I think he.
Hey, get him out of here. That's what he do, and like that, and he should.
Yeah, but still,
like,
okay. I
I
wasn't talking from the standpoint of fan conduct though. I would not want to put my child in a position.
No, 100%.
Where they would hear that, because that sticks there. That ejecting that fan doesn't.
But here's the
remove what
thing:
they
he's
said.
the one who's put his daughter in this position from jump. She was not qualified to be a Sacramento Kings general manager. I don't care how much she knows about the game. Stockton Kings. Sorry, she wasn't. She wasn't
Or
in place to be
Sacramento
the.
Kings for that.
Well,
Hmm?
well, that was the next report. That's part 2. That's Pablo finds out. Wait till Pablo gets a hold of this. He set her up for that the second he gave her that position.
100%.
He
But
set her up for that.
I don't have to keep making bad decisions.
Well,
right. In that
There's little history to show that.
in that respect, like because I made that mistake back then, I don't have to keep putting her in bad spots.
And that gets back to what we were talking about earlier with the whole winning cures all thing, and why it's hard to have faith in the Vivek Ranadive Sacramento Kings, because like, man, this dude just keeps stepping on rakes, whether it's intentional.
Classic Simpsons.
whether it's intentional or hiring the wrong person or having too many voices, like it just feels like, dude, this guy just, whether again, he might luck into the number 1 pick in the draft, and that is the next LeBron James, and all of a sudden the Kings are title contenders for the next 2 decades. Like, sure, that's a thing that could happen, but I don't have a track record. Vivek doesn't have a track record that I look at and go, I have a lot of faith that he's going to figure this out.
That's 100%.
And that the Kings are going to figure this out while he's there.
I think this
because
is
at some point there's going to another rake.
The 13th season that he's owned the team, that he's been the chairman, and of that you have 2 winning seasons total, 1 playoff appearance, 2 play-in tournament losses. That's it. I don't even
play-in tournament win.
So in almost 13 years, are we talking 1, 2, 3, 4 front offices? And in that same amount of time, I think the coaching totals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're on 8 coaches.
As many front offices as post regular season victories is tough. That's tough.
As many front offices in 13 years as the Steelers have had head coaches in like 60. more front offices in 13 years than the Pittsburgh Steelers have had head coaches in like 60 years.
That's crazy.
Real quick, Kyle Matson and the Insiders hanging out with us. I want to talk 49ers football as we head into really tough week, I think, for the San Francisco 49ers, what I think is going to amount to a really good football game as well. I do want to point out one thing real quick, and I think I can speak for Kenny and I. With this New York Times report, I don't want to pretend like we don't have a relationship with Anjali. I think I could go as far as to say we are or were friends. Like We did a lot of business with her over at KSFM. We did a lot of stuff with her Wolf Sanctuary. We did a lot of stuff with the different art shows that she would do to raise money for her Wolf Sanctuary. We have never like hid that, and people have speculated on like all sorts of different things. Anjali's always been cool with us. That doesn't change the way. Like, I think she's a sweet person. I think she's a really good person. There's just a story that we have to talk about. There's a story that we have to share an opinion on. It doesn't change my opinion about her, the person. It doesn't change any of the interactions that I've ever had with her. I will continue to support her sanctuary and all of the things she does for animals and her art shows. I will always continue to support that as long as she wants my support, our support. But this is a story that needs to be discussed, and I can't let the fact that I just like the person get in the way for how I feel about the story. In my opinion, she was in the wrong. And that is the dynamic of the workplace. You can't be in a position of power and have a relationship with the subordinate. It's really as cut and dry as that to me.
Simple as that. I mean, everything that you said is spot on. Like I said, whenever I see Anjali, we talk for, 10, 15 minutes, exchange pleasantries, have a good time, have a good conversation. Like you said, really good person since I've known her. But I would tell her, I don't know if we'd be considered friends or not, but just saying, like, as a friend, I'd be like, that's a bad look. Like, you can't do that. That's a bad look. That, once again, doesn't mean you're a bad person or I don't like you or nothing like that. But, man, can't have that happening. Yeah. Can't have that happen. That's a bad look for everybody involved. And like you said, Dan, that's where it is. When I see her again, if she's still cool, which I don't have no reason to believe she wouldn't, I'll talk to her. It'd be all good. But like you said, this is our job. This is what we got to talk about and talk about truthfully. And that's a bad look. That is a bad look for everybody involved.
Yep.
Yeah, and it really boils down. Like it makes her look bad. It makes her father look worse. And this is a subject like we could talk more about like later if we get to it. There's a lot of other things I want to talk about. Kyle Madsen's here. I want to be mindful of his time because the 49ers have a big football game coming up this weekend. 2-0 teams in the NFC West going at it, the 49ers and the Cardinals. I had the opportunity as I was walking Sprout in the rain today to listen to Candlestick Chronicles, and you kind of led the show off with, in a conversation with our friend Chris Biederman, the starting quarterback doesn't really matter a lot to you in this game. Like, you don't feel like this game between the 49ers and the Cardinals is going to come down to quarterback play.
Yeah. And yes, essentially there are just bigger issues I think the 49ers have in this game than the delta between Brock Purdy and Mac Jones. And Mac Jones showed last week that he can put it together for a game and be fine. Now, could he do that 2 games in a row? Maybe not. But I don't think whatever you're losing with Mac Jones is going to determine whether the 49ers win this game, if Mac Jones even plays. It just, I think of the Cardinals as an issue for the Niners, and I think of Kyler Murray first.
Sure, that's what I was going to ask you.
And then I think of James Conner, who also kills the 49ers. And then I look at last week where the 49ers had a really difficult time stopping the run. And again, we talked about this earlier. I'm not saying their run defense is good or bad. We don't know yet. But it was an issue they had last week. And so those are the things that jump out to me where, okay, if you can keep Kyler from either killing you with his legs or from extending a play and killing you with his arm, if you can keep James Conner from averaging 5 yards a carry and you put together a good defensive performance, you can still win if Mac Jones is your quarterback. But if Kyler Murray's getting whatever he wants and James Conner's going for 5 yards a carry on the ground and Trey Benson is cooking and you can't get a stop, to me, that doesn't come down to like, oh, different quarterback should have played. Like, no, it's they got things to figure out defensively.
It's kind of a sneaky good defense too. The Cardinals.
Yeah, they got some.
It's not really the team that we think about. Like, oh man, the Cardinals is a defensive juggernaut, but they're kind of
they got some ball players on the defensive end. You talk about Kyler Murray, you talk about James Conner, the guy that always, me and Dame talked about the other day, he's just never leaving, is Buda Baker. Buda Baker been around forever.
Yeah.
Buda Baker's
making
been on the
plays
Cardinals since 2009.
He's just never going, and he's 29.
Yeah,
Right? That's what it is. He ain't never going away.
I feel like Calais Campbell's the same way.
I
he
heard
somehow came back.
I heard today Calais Campbell was on the 08 Super Bowl.
Yeah.
For the Cardinals. That's crazy.
I could have told you that.
I know you. You're mad.
It doesn't even seem possible.
Yeah, bro. He was a rookie that year.
Wow.
That's
Second round
crazy.
pick out of Miami.
And he's still good.
Yeah,
Yes,
you can still
still
play.
a really
40
effective
years
player.
into the league now, still very good.
They can still play. They are dealing with their own kind of issues. I think both of their top corners or two of their top three corners are in danger of missing the game. And that's something that can be exploited.
Maybe.
Potentially. By Kyle Shanahan and them. They got to get that run game going as well. The 49ers do. And that's going to be a tough line and tough front seven you got to go up against.
Real quick, I'm glad you bring up the cornerback thing because we were talking about the wide receiver room before the year. And your point was, and I think it was a good one, like, man, if the receiver room is healthy, like, they're good. Juwan Jennings and Ricky Pearsall and Demarcus Robinson, that's your top three. And then your fourth and fifth receivers, just, I mean, the bar they have to clear is very low. But what they're running into this week was my problem with their receiving core, where Juwan Jennings may not play. He missed the Wednesday and Thursday practice last week and still played, but Juwan Jennings may not play. Demarcus Robinson's not back yet. So it is like Ricky Pearsall and Kendrick Bourne, who signed last week. Kendrick Bourne
had some good moments on Sunday. I was surprised.
Yeah, no, Kendrick Bourne, 3 catches for 32 yards, is their third leading wide receiver. The only other receiver to get a target is Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Like, if Juwan Jennings doesn't play, they're going to be in a tough spot regardless of who the corners are.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. Is Jordan Watkins, what's he looking like to play?
He was a healthy scratch last week, not on the injury report, but then he showed up on the injury report yesterday with a hamstring. The calf, he was limited.
Goodness gracious.
Feels like that's going to be the Juwan Jennings story all year.
Yeah, I think so.
Just given the way the season started,
Mm-hmm.
and now, he I don't think he practiced at all this week, no?
Yeah, Wednesday and Thursday is out.
So now
And
it's
then I
like,
don't know about today.
he's going to be playing through something each week, or he's going to not be playing through something each week.
Right.
But it feels like there's always going to be something attached to Juwan Jennings right now.
Man, I feel like they dodged a bullet too last week because I was really, really worried on that play.
Where he hurt his ankle.
And I thought it was his knee, the way it buckled. And he immediately goes limping off the field or whatever. I don't want to say luckily because it's still an issue, but I thought he might have blown out his knee a little bit with the way it buckled. So
I was worried about his Achilles because he had the calf injuries, and the way he got up and he had his leg kind of extended and limped out. I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
That was but I think you're right. I think this is just going to be an all year. Oh, Juwan Jennings is playing, but he's not healthy. It's the George Kittle healthy, where it's like, all right, he's playing, but you can tell he's 80% of George Kittle. Yeah, I think it's going to be that all year.
We talked a little bit about the Cardinals defense and how impressive they have been. Has the 49ers defense surprised you at all the first 2 weeks of the season?
In different ways, yeah. I thought their run defense was really good in week 1. It was really bad in week 2, which I was surprised by how good it was in week 1 and then surprised by how bad it was in week 2. D. Winters is the other one who has just been unbelievable.
Yeah, right.
And I think when the Niners, when they've been able to control the second level with athleticism, sideline to sideline, getting downhill, we've seen them be really, really effective defensively. And so I think that's a big surprise for me. I was really concerned that D. Winters was going to get into game action and it was going to look like last year where there were the flashes, but God, the guy bites on every play fake. He's constantly out of position. He's getting easily peeled off by offensive linemen in the second level. Like, man, that guy just. But no, it's been the opposite. He's been awesome. So I think it's been. If you were going to give him a rating, it'd probably be 6.5 out of 10 through 2 games, and I think that's probably about where I would have landed if I was guessing. But the bigger deal is Michael Williams has been way better. It was way better from week 1 to week 2. Alfred Collins was better from week 1 to week 2. You see Upton Stout getting better. I didn't think Marquise Siegel was bad in week 2, the rookie safety. He gave up 3 catches, but 0 yards after catch, which means catches being made. He's right there,
Mhm.
which is and he had good coverage on the touchdown catch by Jawan Johnson.
Oh, just
It's
crazy.
ridiculous
Catch
play,
was crazy.
ridiculous play. So yeah, I'm surprises good and bad, but it's all going to come down to those young players I mentioned.
Speaking of the young players, I wanted to ask you specifically about Upton Stout because I think he's actually been pretty good. I know the initial part of that game in week 1 was all they were picking on him. He had gave up a couple passes or whatever, but he rebounded from that. He played really well. And just his physicality, I want to see what you think about this. It reminds me of a young Diamonor Lenore. And I remember early Lenore, wasn't Lenore the one who gave up the big play in Philadelphia, like a 99-yarder, but they tackled him at the 1? Or did he just make the tackle? He didn't give something like that. I think he was involved, and everybody's like, oh, the rookie. And we see what he's turned into. And I don't know, I'm getting the same type of vibe with the physicality, intensity, and the ability from Upton Stout. What do you see from him?
Yeah, I think he can play. It is that physicality and the fact that he's doing it at 5'8", $180 or whatever he is. It's super impressive. You saw the pass rush ability and just kind of how he can wreak havoc as a pass rusher last week. And yeah, he's not getting. I thought the flag on him against New Orleans was really taking. Yeah. I thought that was really, really good coverage. So yeah, I think he is a player and a starting level player, and I think he's even ahead of where Lenore was. Because remember, Lenore in 21 was he came in with Ambry Thomas, and Lenore, I think it was against. They kind of like flip flopped, and then Lenore got beat for a touchdown. I think it was against Seattle. And Ambry Thomas came in, and they just gave Ambry Thomas the snaps the rest of the way, and he played, and he got better throughout the year, and that culminated in the interception we talked about a couple weeks ago in week 18 against the Rams to seal that to seal the playoff berth. I get what you're saying, but I think Stout is better than Lenore at this point of his career.
That's a good sign.
And is Mikael Williams starting to show those signs of being him?
Yeah, as a run defender for sure. And that's where it's going to be weird. Like if he's a dominant, like elite run defender, it helps the 49ers immensely. But I think the upside was, the pass rush. He's going to be able to rush the passer from the interior. He's going to be able to push the pocket, this and that. If he's not doing that, it hurts. Like it doesn't mean he's a bust. It doesn't mean he's a bad pick.
Sure.
But if you're a number 11 overall pick as an edge player, as an edge defender, and you're not consistently pressuring the quarterback, it's like you're always going to be left wanting more, even if he's making an impact as a run defender. Just in the modern NFL, that doesn't get you that far. It's like being it's like Andre Roberson, right? For the Thunder back in the day. Yeah. It's like, man, that guy is a dominant defender, but holy smokes, we're playing 4 and 5 on the other end. Yeah. And at some point, like in the modern NBA, you just can't be a zero offensively. And I think in the modern NFL, you can't be a zero as a pass rusher. But again, it's he had a pressure last week that led to a Nick Bosa sack, and so I think there's still upside there for sure.
Last week was an example of just Kyle Shanahan and what I look at as him as a coach. If he may not be the best in a pinch, like, oh no, that didn't even work because they actually worked out. But I was about to say, oh no, Jimmy Garoppolo went down. Brock, get in there. And Brock actually balled. But you get what I'm saying? Like, if he's thrown off course in the middle of a game, I don't think that's a strong suit for him. But if he has time to devise a game plan with whoever the quarterback is and whatever the personnel is, he can get at it with the best of them. He always gonna give you an opportunity. And I think we saw that on full display on Sunday. He knew Mac was going to be the starter for some time. He devised the scheme for that. He, for the most part, knew who was going to play, and I thought he had a great game plan for the Saints on Sunday.
Yeah, I do too. I have the same. I have the exact same issue with what you're talking about, and I think this goes to the stubbornness thing. I think people calling him arrogant is too far because people who don't know the guy can't say that. Like, if you can perceive him as that, but I don't. I do think though there's a stubbornness in the way he coaches because he is very smart. He's a very intelligent coach. And Damien, you mentioned yesterday, part of the reason he's very good is because he understands defenses better than anybody. And so my issue with Kyle Shanahan is when you have a very Debo-centric game plan, and Debo Samuel goes down, it's like, wait, this isn't how this is supposed to look. And it's that ability to be like, all right, we're going to be malleable, and you know what? Just scrap the game plan. We're going to do this. We're going to feed George Kittle 15 targets today. It's like, no, because that's not how football works in his brain. Football works in his brain as, okay, well, their defense does this. These are their rules. So if we run this play, this player is going to go there. This player will be open. And whether that's Ray McLeod or Jordan Watkins or George Kittle or whoever, that player is going to be open there. And so we're just going to run that play and it's going to work. And then when it doesn't work, it's like, well, it'll work next time. And that's kind of it's what makes him great at what he does, but it's also, I think, something that hinders him a little bit.
You said it probably doesn't matter who's under center this weekend. Should the 49ers be cautious with Brock Purdy?
Yeah, both.
Good.
Yes and
That's
no.
Great. Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Like and subscribe for those kind of takes right there.
Candlestick Chronicles, wherever you get your podcast. No. We talked about this on the Insiders, and James brought up how if he can hurt himself worse, or if it hurts so bad that he can't protect himself, right? Because that's what this is about. Can you protect yourself? Then yeah, don't play him. If it's like, hey, this thing is healing, he's good, but if he makes one false step, he's gonna tear all the ligaments in his toe or whatever, then yeah, don't play him, obviously. But if the doctors are like, he's good to go, it's just pain management, we have Toradol for that, he's fine, then you play him. He's your franchise quarterback. You got, if I believe what I believe about the 49ers and their chances this weekend, the 49ers have got to look at it like, we paid this guy to be our franchise quarterback because he elevates our team in some way. So you obviously want that guy out there because they believe he has the best chance he gives them the best chance of winning the game. So I don't think you're cautious just because it's week 3. If he can play, they should play him.
I always chuckle, me and Damien have talked about this a couple times before. I think even me and Kyle, but the way we as media and fans talk about football, right? So we'll talk about this game, for instance. You know, some people look at this 2-0, but you're not that impressive. And now you've got Arizona coming to town, and if you lose that one, you're 2-1. You're a game behind in the division, and and then hey, you got to win this game. You know, this is a big game. You got to win this. And in the same breath, be like, look, there's no need to bring Brock Purdy back. It's a long season. Wait, what?
Right.
Which one is it? I think. And most importantly, Kyle Shanahan goes about it not only with Brock Purdy, but with all these players. If you can play, I'm going to play you, and we're going to go full throttle. Like we're not going to tiptoe around this thing. And I think that's where we'll end up being on Sunday. If he's confident in what he saw in practice and Brock says he's good to go, Kyle will play him.
Yeah.
I think that's the way he looks at it.
Yep. Yeah, there's no, it's only week 3. I'm going to say that because the season doesn't start till week 5.
Is that what you got? I missed that. Is that what you determined today?
Yeah. Because James is like week 5 or 6. And in my head, I had October. October's when the season for real starts. Because in the bit was in the NBA, season doesn't start till Christmas, right? That's what everybody said. So I was like, all right, when does the NFL season start? And James said week 5 or 6. And I said October. And lo and behold, week 5 starts October 2nd.
That's great.
So the games count, to be sure. The games count. You want to
But no
win
one
all your
cares.
games.
Yeah.
No, people care.
Oh.
But it's with the 49ers run game is the example I used. They cannot run the ball right now. It is not an effective part of their offense right now. But I'm not after week 2 going, oh my God, it's a huge issue for them.
Mhm.
It's like, that's kind of interesting. But if by week 5 they still can't run the ball, I'm officially going to be like, hey, I'm worried about the Niners rushing offense.
Sure.
That's when things get real.
I need Brian Robinson to break a couple, man.
Oh, oof. You're gonna be waiting.
Not capable?
It's no juice.
Oh no.
My guy is sans juice. He is juiceless.
Speaking of, we might get a preview of life without Juszczyk. Unless he's playing. Is he back?
Well, I think
He was
played
limited yesterday.
Okay.
But yesterday's the first day he can be back, right?
Yeah, I
so
think
there
so.
that has to be something.
It's a good
positive.
sign,
Mhm.
but it's not. He hasn't cleared protocol yet
Okay.
officially.
Yeah, so I don't know. A lot of I like Juszczyk. I see his value,
Sure.
but I also understand. I don't know. Maybe we've outgrown that a little bit. Maybe the money, and they might have took care of that this offseason because they said, "Hey, we ain't gonna pay you this no more."
Yeah,
Like,
they're
you
not.
can get-
They're not doing things with their roster because they have Kyle Juszczyk.
well, not the roster, but the offense, the style of offense they run. But running game struggling. Maybe that's a sign that he still is valuable
Mhm.
because the way that he gets going in the running game, as far as blocking
Mhm.
wise, is really beneficial for guys like CMC and everything.
For
And they
sure.
didn't have him last week, so
For sure.
Great stuff, Kyle.
Thanks.
Appreciate you as always. Candlestick Chronicles, NinersWire.com, and of course the host of the Insiders here from 10 to 12.